to begin this morning and call the meeting to order. I just want to wish each of you a good morning. We appreciate the interest in the Alabama Community College system. A great deal of work and preparation has gone in to the development of the documents for the meeting today. I want to commend the Chancellor, his staff, all our college presidents and their staff for the diligent work in preparation for the meeting. Today we want to thank special thanks to Shelton State, Dr. Chris Cox and his staff here for hosting us. It's a unique opportunity we have, and we're very thankful, and it's very enjoyable to get out of the system office on occasion and visit some of the schools and hold our meeting here, so very happy to be here today. As always, our focus remains on student success. We desire in everything we do to remain true to our core mission of education, workforce development, and academic transfer. So as we begin today, would like to introduce our pastor who will lead us in our invocation. Today we have with us senior pastor of the Cornerstone Full Gospel Baptist Church and overseer Freddie Washington. Overseer Freddie Washington is the senior pastor teacher of the Cornerstone Full Gospel Baptist Church. He has been a minister and preacher of the gospel for more than 20 years and is chosen as successor to his mentor and pastor emeritus, Bishop E.L. Palmer, who founded Cornerstone in 1993. A native of Mobile, Alabama, Pastor Washington received his Bachelor of Science degree in Consumer Sciences from the University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa with a concentration in financial planning and counseling. He also graduated magna cum laude, earning his Master of Arts degree in Practical Ministry from Beacon University in Columbus, Georgia. Additionally, he has obtained his Certificate of Biblical Studies from the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship International School of Christian Education. Pastor Washington is an accomplished musician, music director, and producer. Currently serves as the international overseer of minstrels for the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship. He was co-production coordinator for the 2010 Stellar Award-winning project, Cry Your Last Tear, recorded by Bishop Paul S. Morton and the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship Mass Choir. He was also executive director of the Cornerstone Full Gospel Baptist Church Music Ministry, the Order of Worship, which charted in the top 20 of gospel music billboards in the week of its release. Pastor Washington.
There we go. Good morning.
There you are.
I need to make a note to shorten my bio next time. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you. Let us pray. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us far on this way. In the spirit of gratitude, we thank you this day for your many blessings that you have bestowed upon us. For this gathering of the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees and for all who will be a part of today's meeting, we say thank you. We pray that our time today will be productive, profitable, and rewarding. Grant us peace, protection, and provision as we continue to persevere through these unsettling and uncertain times in which we live. Be with us in our deliberations and give us more wisdom and knowledge as we lead those who have placed their trust and confidence in our leadership. Enable us to perform every duty with fidelity so that our labors may meet thy divine approbation. May this time together symbolize one of many ways that we experience your goodness. Keep us mindful of your great love as we see you in creation and experience you in fellowship with one another. That our time together today remind us that all we do and all that we accomplish is for a greater good and for the service of humanity. In faith and hope, we trust in your guidance today. In the name of the one who was, who is, and who is to come. We ask these things. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor Washington. If you would, please stand for the pledge. Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ms. Wilkins, if you would, please call the roll.
Present.
Ms. Valerie Gray. Present. Mr. Matthew Wood.
Present.
Mr. Goodrich Wilson.
Present.
Mr. Milton Davis.
Present.
Mr. Lebanon Rowe.
Present.
Mr. Blake McAnally.
Present.
Dr. Yvette Richardson.
Thank you, ma'am. We have a quorum. So now we want to move along and approve the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
Have we a second?
Second.
So the agenda was distributed in advance to our board members for their review. We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving the agenda signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Or raise your hand. Aye. Jeb, is that you?
Yes.
Very good, thank you. All right, approval of the minutes from our May 11, 2022 meeting. Our minutes were distributed in advance to all our board members for their review. We will now entertain a motion to approve the minutes of our May board meeting.
So moved.
We have a motion, Mr. Rogers.
Second.
Second from Mr. Woods. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote. Very good. All right, so we'll move now into public comment. Do we have anyone sign up for public comment? No one signed up. Moving now into the agenda, Section 7, Executive, Legal, and Public Information. Action items, 7A1, Trinham State Community College, Review of Mission Statement. We've received mission statements from the college. I'll entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
We have a motion by Mr. Mitchell, second by Mr. Davis. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote. Motion carries. Item 7A2, Southern Union State Community College, also a mission statement. Have we a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Mrs. Gray.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote. The motion carries.
Aye.
Thank you. And the last mission statement we've today, Bevel State Community College. We have received, it's been reviewed. I would entertain a motion at this time.
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Wood.
Second.
Second by Mr. Rome. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Next, item 7A4, J.F. Drake State Community College, approval to purchase real property. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize the Alabama Community College System on behalf of J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College to purchase 4 parcels of property located on McDonald Avenue in Huntsville, Alabama, from the Drake State Foundation Board. The property is contiguous to the previously approved property purchases located at 202, 204, and 206 McDonald Avenue. The purchase price is $5,000. I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
I have a motion from Mr. Rogers, second from Mr. Davis. Any discussion on this matter? Hearing none, we'll call for the vote. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
The motion carries. Thank you. Moving along now to Section 8, Instructional, Research and Development, Adult Education, Facilities, Fiscal, Information Technology, and Workforce Development. We have several items in this area, beginning with item number 8A1. Northeast Alabama Community College is here today to request an associate in applied science degree and certificate in advanced manufacturing. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees approve Northeast Alabama Community College's application for an associate in applied science degree and certificate in advanced manufacturing to be implemented fall semester 2022. Would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion from Mr. Rogers. Second, Mr. Wood. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
The motion carries. Item 8A2, Gadsden State Community College is here today requesting an associate in applied science and certificate in medical assisting. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees approve Gadsden State Community College's application for an associate in applied science and certificate in medical assisting to be implemented fall semester 2022. Would entertain a motion.
Motion.
We have a motion. Mr. Wood?
Second.
Second, Mr. Davis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
The motion carries. Time out for a little water. Something's blooming in this part of the world today that's troubling me a bit. Next, we have item 8A3, Coastal Alabama Community College, here today pursuing an associate in applied science degree in respiratory therapy therapist. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees approve Coastal Alabama Community College application for an associate in applied science degree in respiratory therapy therapist to be implemented fall semester 2023. I would entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion, Mr. Davis.
Second.
Second, Mr. Rogers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor of item 8A3, signify by raising your hand or voice vote. Motion carries.
Aye.
Moving along to 8A4, Trinham State Community College. Here today, pursuing associate in applied science degree in clinical medical laboratory technician. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees approve Trinham State's Community College's application for an associate in applied science in clinical medical laboratory technician to be implemented in spring semester 2023. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Davis, second, Mr. Mitchell. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 8A6, 8A5, Snead State Community College, Associate Degree in Welding Technology. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees approve Snead State Community College application for an Associate in Applied Science degree in Welding Technology to be implemented fall semester 2022. Would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Wood, second by Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. And now, 8A6, Coastal Alabama Community College, addition of an instructional site, Infirmary East Shore. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees approve additional instruction site for Coastal Alabama Community College. We would entertain a motion.
So moved.
So, Mr. Roan has the motion.
Second.
Second, Mrs. Gray. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Item 8A7, Alabama Community College System allocation of FY 2021-2022 Industry Certification Initiative funds. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize the allocation of a portion of the FY 2021-22 Industrial Certification Initiative funds as outlined. Would entertain a motion for this request.
Make a motion.
Motion, Mr. Davis, second, Mrs. Gray. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
The motion carries. Moving along to 8A8, Bishop State Community College CARES Act for COVID-related capital renewal. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Bishop State Community College to proceed with construction of the project named CARES Act for COVID-related capital renewal. The scope of work for this project is to modernize and replace building systems that contribute to improved air quality and reduce the transmission of COVID in multiple buildings at the campuses of Bishop State Community College. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than January 31, 2023, or this authorization shall expire. Would entertain a motion for this?
So moved.
Mr. Roan has given us a motion.
Second.
Second, Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote. Motion carries. 8A9, J.F. Drake State Community and Technical College CARES Act for COVID-related capital renewal. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Drake State Technical College to proceed with construction of the project named CARES Act for COVID-related capital renewal. The scope of work for this project is to modernize and replace building systems that contribute to improved air quality and reduce the transmission of COVID in multiple buildings at the campus of Drake State Community and Technical College. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than January 31, 2023, or this authorization shall expire. I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Rogers,
Second.
second, Mr. Davis. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
The motion carries. Moving along to 8A10, Lawson State Community College CARES Act for COVID-related capital renewal. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Lawson State Community College to proceed with construction of the project named CARES Act for COVID-related capital renewal. The scope of work for this project is to modernize and replace building systems that contribute to the improved air quality and reduce the transmission of COVID in multiple buildings at the Birmingham and Bessemer campuses of Lawson State Community College. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than January 31, 2023, for this authorization shall expire. Would entertain a motion.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Davis,
Second.
second, Mr. Roan. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Now 8A11, Marion Military Institute, new dining hall and tennis courts. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Marion Military Institute to proceed with construction of the project named New Dining Hall and Tennis Court. The scope of work for the project is to construct a 17,330 square foot dining facility and event space. The facility will include a kitchen and service area to support dining and other campus activities. The existing campus tennis courts will also be relocated as a part of this project. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than January 31, 2023, or this authorization shall expire. Would entertain a motion.
So move.
A motion for Mr. Roan,
Second.
second Mr. Davis. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
The motion carries. Item 8A12, Bevel State Community College roofing projects. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Bevel State Community College to proceed with construction of the project named roofing projects. The scope of work for this project is to re-roof multiple buildings on Bevel State Community College, Jasper, and Summerton campuses. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than January 31, 2023, or this authorization shall expire. Would entertain a motion.
So move.
Motion for Mr. Woods,
Second.
second Mr. Rogers. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor to approve this request signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving along now to 8A13, Enterprise State Community College softball and baseball renovation. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize Enterprise State Community College to proceed with construction of the project named Renovations to the Baseball and Softball Complex. The scope of work of the project is a joint venture with the City of Enterprise and includes providing new paved parking lots, new landscaping, new irrigation, new concessions building, and includes new bleachers, backstops, netting at both baseball and softball fields. The project will also include an alternate scope to construct new press boxes. Because only one bid was received, Enterprise State Community College is authorized with a negotiation to proceed with the negotiation of the contractor's proposal and/or the collection of additional bid proposals, as outlined in Title 39 of the Alabama Code. Any negotiation of work shall result in a price lower than the original bid received. Construction contracts shall be executed no later than January 31, 2023, or this authorization shall expire. We'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Davis, second, Mr. Mitchell. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
The motion carries. Item 8A14, Trinham State Community College Equipment Purchase FAME Program. It is recommended that the Alabama Community College System Board of Trustees authorize the president of Trinham State Community College to spend $2,087,284.90 for the purpose of purchasing equipment for the college's FAME program. I would entertain a motion. Motion, Mr. Davis.
Second.
Second, Mr. Roan. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll call the question. All those in favor signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
And the motion carries. Thank you, Board, for working through these. And I just want to say that an awful lot of work had gone into many of these projects that were related to CARES and HERF Act funds. And our team worked diligently to secure approval from the federal government for these expenditures before they expired, and we're very thankful for the diligence in making that happen. All right, so moving along now to item 9, personnel. Chancellor?
Mr. Chairman, over the last several weeks, the board has advertised, posted appropriately, and advertised for applicants who would be considered for the positions of both president of Enterprise Community College and Shelton State Community College. We have gone through the interview process, and we have made selections, and I would like to recommend today that the board approve Daniel Long. I think he's present.
He's to your left.
Okay. Daniel Long as president of Enterprise State Community College. Mr. Long has been employed there for some 4.5 or so years. He previously has worked under the former president there for 15 years. And I think he obviously will carry forward with the same approach, same attitude, and same success as the previous president, and we regret his passing. So I recommend that Daniel Long be appointed as permanent president of Enterprise State Community College immediately.
All right, Board, we have a recommendation from the Chancellor for appointing Daniel Long as the permanent president of Enterprise State Community College. We have a motion from Mr. Mitchell.
Yes, sir.
Second from Mr. Rogers. Any discussion or comments? Hearing none, we'll move to the vote. All those in favor of appointing Daniel Long, permanent president, Enterprise State Community College, signify by raising your hand or voice vote. You are approved.
Danny, would you like to come forward? Yes, sir. There's a mic right here. Do you have anything you'd like to say?
I sure do. Let me begin by just thanking Chairman, Board of Trustees, Chancellor, for an honor of a lifetime. You know, it's no secret that our college and our community continue to grieve the loss of my friend, President Matt Rogers. But as Chancellor mentioned, I had the privilege of serving as his assistant principal at Enterprise High School. I had the privilege of serving as his vice president at Enterprise State Community College. And I think everybody in this room would agree that I had a pretty good coach. And he even let me call some plays every once in a while. But it's because of Matt that we've got a college that our community is proud of again. We've got a faculty and staff that are motivated, energized to serve the students and to serve our community. This is a personal challenge to me. Matt was one of my closest friends, and we spent a lot of time in the trenches in public education together. And this is an opportunity that I take personally. Enterprise is my home, and the opportunity to make our community better, to provide more opportunities for our students, workforce opportunities, is certainly a challenge I welcome. And if you didn't know, it's the Chancellor's home. It's Mr. Mitchell's home, and I promise you that I will do everything in my power to continue to move this college forward. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, we've gone through the same process. We've interviewed, and I am today ready to make a nomination request that you approve Christopher Cox as permanent president of Shelton State Community College.
Very good. We have a proposal from the Chancellor for appointing as permanent president Christopher Cox for Shelton State Community College. To entertain a motion. Motion, Mr. Woods. Second, Mr. Davis. All those in favor of approving Dr. Cox as a permanent president of Shelton State Community College signify by raising your hand or voice vote.
Aye.
The motion's unanimous. Congratulations, Dr. Cox.
think it would be appropriate to say that I'm excited about this, and I know the quality of work that will occur with both these guys. And it leaves a pretty big hole in my office, Chris. But this job is important, and I'm excited about the opportunity for this college and you.
Well, thank you, Chancellor. Congratulations, Danny. Matt Rogers was a dear friend of mine as well. I was a principal in Enterprise and served with those two guys, and I want to tell you, you couldn't have had two finer men. In fact, Danny, I was the principal for Danny's little girl when she came to kindergarten. So go way back, I was the elementary school principal. But interviewed on a very emotional day. We're still very sad. But gosh, how excited when I came here, I guess it was 4 months ago, sat in this room and really didn't know many people here and had no clue that I was going to come here to be the president and have served for 4 or 5 months. So it went by really, really fast. But board, thank you for this opportunity and trusting me with, I think, what is one of the most important jobs in a community. And I want our community folks that are here to hear this. And I've said this several times, and I'll continue to say this, but this is to brag a little bit on our mission. You know, who else wants to go into prisons and educate people and upskill them? Who else is taking on people who may have just made poor choices and says, welcome, we'll take you on. We'll try to upskill you, we'll educate you, and we'll help you in any way. Who else will take high school graduates and try to give them an education if they want to go to the University of Alabama, Stillman right here, or for that matter, want to go to Harvard. But also teach them welding, industry training for right here, Mercedes-Benz, Nucor, Pfeiffer Wire, nurses. We've got DCH. We have our long-term care facilities. You know, the mission is so pure, and it's so good. So it is a privilege to have this opportunity to be able to serve. And if you work at Shelton, will you stand up? Thank you. We have a lot of work to do, but we're going to get it done. We have a team here. I hadn't met one person that hadn't welcomed me. I hadn't met one person, community leaders, that at Shelton does not want to do what's best for this community, that wants to serve the people in this region of the state. We got great days ahead of us, and I'm going to challenge each one of you to let's do what we can to change Tuscaloosa and make it the pinnacle of the state. And let's show people how, hey, we have great unemployment. Let's take and work with our industry partners who are here, and let's take that 44% of students that might not know that they could have a skill or get the training they need to get a good quality job, and let's convince them they can do it. But it's not easy. We're going to have fun. We're going to love each other. And we're going to treat everybody with respect. But I'm going to tell you this, get ready, because we're going to work harder than we've ever worked in our lives. So I look forward to it. Thank you. I would be in trouble if I didn't mention my wife. I was told I outkicked my coverage, and you can see her in a pretty green dress and know for a fact that I did. And we were 28 years and have one daughter, son-in-law, and 2 grandsons. And and I say 28 years, but we girlfriend, boyfriend since 5th grade, so a lot more than that. we grew up in the same neighborhood, so thank her for coming. And Dr. Kelly turned around and looked at her and said, y'all know I've been at 4 colleges in 3 years, and Olivier Charles says all the time, you have a Marriott points galore, and I do. And but she's put up with me doing that, and she knows that it's serving a good cause and that we have a mission that we can help people, and she has supported me in that, and I thank her for that. So sorry it took so long, but thank you, and I will commit to you, to our community partners who are here, that we are going to work tirelessly. And I'll tell you this, and I want everybody here, if you're from Tuscaloosa and we're not doing it, you come to me after this at the reception, get my cell phone number, and if we're doing something wrong, you just call and tell me. I don't want to hear it from somebody else. I want you to call and tell me, and we'll try to fix it. And if we can't, we'll tell you we can't. So good days ahead of us, but Chancellor, I want to say Tuscaloosa is a phenomenal community with economic development, with workforce, with the industry that's here, with the school districts that are here. We have just dug in. I see Mike Daria back there, and just have worked with the school districts diligently to improve things. So really, really good days ahead of us in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and the region that, and I know we probably have some folks from Bibb as well, and possibly Hill County as well. So good things ahead. Sorry it took so long, but thank you.
Yeah, but we do have one more report.
Okay. Chancellor's report, does it come up there?
All right, so we'll move now to the Chancellor's report.
Mark?
Chairman, Chancellor, Board. It's been a while since we've updated you on what we've done on the security, and y'all know the last couple of weeks have been really rough across the nation. So that's a good time to kind of highlight what we've done. To begin with, let's look at the prevention program. If you notice, 3 years ago, we put in a behavioral intervention program where we can say we've successfully stopped situations that would have ended up just like what you've seen in the news. We've had significant stops at Trinham. We've had them in, we're working a case this morning at LBW. We're working cases consistently. Our numbers continue to go up, but it's because we're getting involvement from the faculty, from the staff, the students are embracing it. And a lot of our referrals are requiring mental health assistance, but we've got criminal cases that's coming out of it, and we've actually been part of terrorism cases. So we're really, really proactive in that. Now, that's proactive. Let's talk about response. As you know, 2 years ago, you mandated that each college have an emergency operation plan. Well, during this last couple years, we've been doing tabletop exercises, testing the plans. As a result of that, 4 of our community colleges have now established police departments, which is a great way of addressing a lot of these problems. Reed State, Trinham, LBW, and the latest is Central Alabama. So we're making a lot of headway in what we're doing with that. When we set them up, we're also using our partnerships. Give you an example is we've had 5 cars donated that were fully marked and equipped from other law enforcement agencies to help get these departments off the ground. Partnerships with training, we're doing training with the Attorney General's office, the U.S. Attorney's office, the Alabama FOP, the Ethics Commission, and we're not just worried about training our people, we're training as a community. Class we did 2 weeks ago in Birmingham had 147 in the class. I taught it with the U.S. Attorney's office, and we had folks from all across the state attending the class. So that's So we're pushing those elements. What we're doing is we're moving, not only trying to prevent, but it's like playing baseball. You can't hit every ball that's thrown at you. So we've got to have a good response plan. And we're making that plan a lot better every day. But like I said, we've done really good with it. And I'm really proud of what we've done just on the prevention side. Questions?
Questions from the board? Comments? Chief, thank you for what you're doing. It is a critical time in the country with things like this going on, and we very much appreciate the attention being paid to these things.
Mark? Yes, sir. No.
The other Mark.
The other Mark. Facilities.
Board members plural. Let me just say, since I've joined the system last July, that this has been a most unique adventure. And it is unprecedented what we are doing in the way of projects and work. I think one of the biggest initiatives that we have seen is trying to press forward in the effort for workforce centers and those development efforts. It's just not the prototype centers that we're working on and so forth that we see happening in 5 or 6 colleges, but just the concentration and effort to focus the entire system on workforce to complement transfer programs and other things that are happening. So we see a lot of the initiatives, and then your actions today as we proceed to move forward in utilizing CARES funds that are available to us is a huge initiative. That alone, as we work with that, it is remarkable that we're trying to take about 3 years of work and jam it into about 18 months. And so that is consuming a lot of resources. We are building the staff down there. We're very much a lean team in terms of regional directors. We have 2, and we're doing interviews to fill that 3rd slot starting next week. As we go forward with this, our approach, board members, is to interface and empower the colleges across the state and to strengthen their facility programs. Not only strengthen those programs, but their ability to be successful and to utilize the local resources at the colleges to do and maintain projects and to support them in that effort. And so we see much happening. The use and the Aspire initiative that is the foundation of where we're going has led us to a place where we are now focused on facility renewals. Our vision for all of our campuses as we look at most of our facilities, they're well beyond the years of what the governor that had established the college system some years, decades ago, where they have exhausted their useful life. And so it's not just about fixing up systems now, it's repurposing our facilities and giving them new life as we renovate facilities and see them into the future for the next 30 to 40 years. And so it's a major undertaking, and it's a pleasure to work with you. It's a pleasure to work with the system office. Chancellor Baker has become a friend and a confidant that has a clear vision of what the entire system is trying to accomplish at all levels, just not facilities, but academically. And then our colleges and our presidents and their teams are remarkable individuals of great capacity. And so any questions that you may have about facilities or projects that we are working on, I'll be happy to answer those questions. That is my report.
Thank you, Mark. All right. Item 11, committee reports. Anyone? No committee report? Very good. The date and location of our next meeting is the work session that will be today, June 8th. We're going to take just about a 8 to 10 minute break, and then we'll be back in here at 11 o'clock to begin the work session. Motion to adjourn. Motion. I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. We're adjourned. We are about ready to begin our work session. If you would please, I'd appreciate you taking a seat. If you want to join us. All right, we're going to go ahead and get into our work session. Mr. Davis had to leave to catch an airplane, so he's going to be out, but we're going to move forward. So today we have the following actions: instructional, research, and development. Item number 1, J.F. Ingram State Technical College, addition of an instructional sites, Easterling Correctional Facility, Fountain Correctional Facility, Limestone Correctional Facility, and Ventress Correctional Facility.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You, to some extent, stole my thunder.
I'm sorry. I give it back.
But these new correctional facilities will come under the jurisdiction of Ingram State by directive of the Board of Trustees for providing instruction effective August 15, 2022. Are there any questions?
Any questions from the board?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have facilities. Mark?
Board members, we have 4 projects to bring before you this morning. The first one is at Jefferson State. This is for the replacement of air handling equipment in 3 of the buildings located on the campus, the northeast, or what is known as the Jefferson campus. These buildings are the Harold Martin, the Fitzgerald Student Center, as well as the Layton Nursing Education Building. Funds for this project, board members, have been identified and are coming out of CARES. They are preparing and trying to gather together the information for this project so that we can bring back the results to you next month. The anticipated spend is going to be close to about $2.4 million to do like-for-like replacements and put the equipment in that will improve the indoor air quality. That is the connection to COVID. Any questions on the Jefferson State Air Handler Replacement Project?
Anyone?
Board members, the next project is down at Enterprise State. This is at the Aviation College that is located down in Ozark, and the project is the renovation of the Brown building. This is a building that is located at the airport. One of our questions last week in the reviews was, do we own the property? And this building is on our property. I think the closest point of the building, those 4 corners, is within about 9 feet of the property line. Located at this building is going to be a complete renovation and also repurposing of the space. We do have a hangar that accesses the airport so that planes can come in and off of the runway. As we look at this space as well, it is also being developed for classroom instruction that will complement that program. The budget, board members, for this is set at approximately $4.3 million. We've allocated up to 4.5. When we look at this, bids are coming in at the end of this month, at the beginning of July, and so we will be bringing back those bid results to you at the July board meeting. Any questions about the aviation project at Ozark?
Mark, I have a question, I have a comment. You might expand a little bit on that building is grandfathered in from a height
It is.
deal because of the airport?
Yeah, we wanted to do some things down there with the placement of that building. However, if we move it, we lose the protection of that building being as close as it is. And under normal conditions, we would have had to reduce or set it back. So, you know, I think initially a new building was anticipated. We took this building and have just repurposed it and preserved that access to the airport and to the runway. Any other questions? The next project, board members, that we have for you is down at Bishop State. We have a series of buildings on the main campus as well. That's primarily where our focus is, and we've also identified one building that is down at the southwest campus that we identified in your packet. These buildings are buildings and homes and houses that have been vacated for some time. They've become natural storage collection places. They're not used for any academic purpose. So the college has decided to remove these buildings as part of the campus improvement programs that are taking place on all the campuses down at Bishop. As we look at these buildings that are happening at Southwest and so forth, we anticipate perhaps as much with the bids with environmental that we could spend up to $500,000. That is why you're seeing it here in the event that the bids do go over our $500,000 threshold, where we need to bring that back to the board for action. We do expect the bids to be well below that, and if the bids come in where we want them to be, you will not see this action again next month. This will be treated at the local level by the college. Any question about the demolition of the buildings at Bishop State? Board members, the last project that you have before you is the Wallace State Selma campus. We have a roofing replacement project that is long overdue on the Selma campus. This is the library and the gymnasium. This is one continuous building, and we've had roofing issues there for some time. So we're going in to re-roof the building. We do have bids that are coming in as early as next week. And the bid and the budget that we've set for this work is set at $400,000 to $500,000. Again, if this project is under the $500,000 threshold, this will be the last time you hear of this request, and we'll take action at the local level. Any questions about Wallace Selma and the re-roofing project?
Mark, I know this isn't the answer here, but where are we relative to the flooding of a portion of campus?
That is a great question, Chancellor Baker. We have been working on this flooding issue that has been in existence there for years, maybe even a decade or more. And we've engaged the college. We have had local resources and help with Dr. Vicki Olson's office to try to identify grants. We established that to correct the drainage issues, we determined this late last year, coming into the beginning of this calendar year, and our spend was approximately $1.3 million to correct it. When we identified that, we immediately went to work and have been engaging FEMA and local EMA to help us with this. And we've been led to a place, really with the help of Dr. Olson's group and GMC, who's the engineers, where we are now tapping into a grant where our commitment to that grant is about 25% of that $1.3 million. Now, we're still waiting to get confirmation and acceptance from the agency that we've submitted it to, but we are very confident from the news that we learned late last week that this project does qualify for those funds and is eligible to be considered for that type of level of funding. So that's going to be close to about $800,000 of potential grant funds that will come. And so that's an example of a number of the things that are happening across the system, but I think that answers your question, Chancellor Baker. Any other questions about Wallace? Thank you, board members.
Thank you. Next, we have fiscal.
The last item on the work session agenda is Lawson State's request to spend just over $4.8 million of CARES Act funds to continue to upgrade the college's instructional areas, including classrooms, laboratories, theaters, and auditoriums, with interactive display and communication capability. The college also proposes to update and acquire educational software and equipment for various instructional programs. The addition of the requested items will positively impact student learning outcomes and will allow instruction and student interaction to take place in classrooms and laboratories and other learning spaces and make social distancing possible. Dr. Anthony has included a letter of need with her request, along with a two-page listing of the equipment and software to be obtained, followed by a detailed description of all of the equipment and software that's in the package as well. Does anyone have any questions relating to this item?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, that's it for scheduled items for the agenda. Anything else from the board, Chancellor? Very good. We will adjourn. Thank you for being here.